I just arrived at FTC Gym. This is my first time here. I'm checking out a bunch of gyms in Salt Lake, trying to see what I like the best around this area. So this one looks super sick. About to go hit a pull day. So back, buys, rear delts, really gonna go hard on rear delts today. Sometimes I get so fatigued going so hard on back and buys, I don't really save energy for rear delts, and I kind of half-ass him when I think that's one of the most crucial muscles to have an aesthetic physique and that overall like cap delt look. So I'll probably hit rear delts after my like initial back training, do like 6 to 8 sets on back, then go into rear delts and finish off with biceps, because biceps still aren't really that much of a priority for me. But let's get in there and let's have a sick session. So the door wasn't opening, but we had to wait outside for like 25 minutes. Some guy let us in. Gym looks pretty damn sick. Plan for today's session is 8 sets of back total. So I'm gonna do 2 sets per machine. So that's 4 different machines. I'm gonna do 2 rowing, horizontal movements, and then 2 vertical for width. I am back in the city of Los Angeles in Hollywood. Gonna do a little Q&A today. It's been quite some time since I've done a Q&A, I think a little bit over a year. So I just put up a little poll on my Instagram story only a couple hours ago. So let's see how many questions I have. Let's start it off. Super gym bro question. What's your max bench? Now, I hit a 365 bench like 2 years ago, which I think is the heaviest bench I've ever posted on social media. And last year, or this past winter, maybe like 5 months ago, was definitely my strongest I've ever been in my life. I hit a 315 incline, was on track to hit a 335 incline, which I never ended up doing. But I actually hit a 370 pause bench on like a super random day. I wasn't peaked or prepped for it at all. So that is my current 1 rep max, raw 370 pause, no wraps, nothing. And the following weeks after that, I was getting so strong. I was doing 315 for sets of like 6 to 7 after doing 275 on incline. I came out to Zoo Culture to bench 405. I wanted to jump right to a 4-plate bench, and I actually filmed that. So if you go back a few videos on my channel, you'll see that I end up hitting 350 as my last warm-up. The truck is loud. Or I ended up hitting 350 as my last warm-up, and I just felt a strain go across my pec, which was pretty bad. I wasn't able to flat bench for months afterwards, and I'm okay to flat bench now, but I've just been focusing on incline and more hypertrophy, especially being leaner for the summer. You know, I'm not going to be able to hit a crazy bench PR. So we'll see if I end up bulking really hard again and going for a 405 bench. Even if it takes a couple years, it's better to play it safe than just try to get strong as fast as possible. Because at this point for me, like the numbers I'm getting up to with 675 deadlift, you know, over 550 on squat, and like getting up to the 400 bench range, especially with like how small and skinny my joints are. Like my wrists and elbows and knees are so tiny. I'm not built for just powerlifting. I don't have the ligament and joint strength to like lift that heavy, and my body's not built to hold that level of weight. So it starts getting pretty dangerous at that point. And if I'm not competing in powerlifting, I don't see a point to just push it that far, because I almost just tore my pec. My back is like herniated as fuck. I really don't think I'll ever pull a heavy deadlift again. Not like I could if I wanted to, but I don't really want to go down that path and just devote my life to like deadlifting. I did that for 5 years. I hit 675. I really wanted the 700, but I'm honestly like pretty content with the numbers that I hit. 2 questions here in one. How's the new movie going? And what motivated you to start doing short films and films? What advice would you give? So I've always had a huge passion for cinema, for movies, as well as acting. And filming my YouTube videos, I started adding in more movie clips, getting more into the cinematography side of things, and trying to go beyond just like a typical normal vlog, is going into the cinematic side of things, pulling inspiration from movies, learning editing and color grading. So really my initial plan was just to really kind of push into acting and then act for about 15 to 20 years, really learn the industry before getting into like the directing and producing side of things. But it got to a point where I was like, why wait until somebody else decides when it's time for me to get a project or when I'm deserving of, you know, creating something? I'm like, I can take whatever I want into my own hands. I don't have to wait for somebody to tell me when the time is or what to do and when to do it. So I started my own production company 6 months ago. And I was like, you know what, I'm still going to be auditioning for roles and doing other things, but I really want to create my own projects, bring my own visions to life, because just the support I've gotten back from, you know, some of the stuff I've done on YouTube and just explaining some of these ideas to my friends, they seemed really interested in what I was doing. I feel like if I have the conviction to do something and so much belief in something and it really resonates with me, that it is at least going to resonate with millions of other people across the world. So I ended up shooting my first short film last winter, 0 crew, 0 budget. That still hasn't released yet. We went to some online film festivals. There's still some like other editing we have to do with like ADR, voiceover, voice replacement, like since we didn't have any equipment on that film. But we ended up winning some awards at the online festivals we went to, and then I just went into production on my last film, which we just wrapped up, which was an incredibly high scale. We had actors from #1 shows on Netflix, the Netflix show You, Landman on Paramount, custom-built motorcycles, shot at this World War II air base where they film movies like Independence Day with Will Smith and the Hulk. And basically, throughout that entire process, I built everything myself from the ground up, from, you know, writing the entire script, getting every location, every military truck on board, every actor, every custom built motorcycle, and the crews. And it was really the most challenging, hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life, really. I mean, I was working 14-hour days, like not sleeping, just stressing out every day because I just wanted to make it happen no matter what. Everything was just holding on by a thread. And that's what really kind of like pulled me back away from the gym and YouTube videos. I ended up losing 20 pounds throughout that process from not eating food, not training, didn't film a single YouTube video. Because when I do something, I go all in. I put all of my focus and energy into it. I don't like to half-ass things. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it to the maximum extent, the maximum capability that I can. And it's something I'm so passionate about. So you really do enjoy the process. But I'm gonna be releasing a whole documentary on the film, and then you guys will see that when it rolls out. We have a huge world premiere set coming up this fall. Right now we're in post-production, so the hard drive's over in the UK with the editor, and this editor worked on Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is coming out I think in the next few weeks, and he's currently working on the Batman Part 2 and then doing our film a few days out of the week as well. So that'll be a few month process, but so excited to have somebody like that of that scale and caliber working on my film. You know, Batman has been one of my favorite movies of all time. I know the Batman Part 2 is pretty much like the most anticipated movie coming out. It at least is for me. So to have someone like that working on this project, I know it's going to be insane. And there's just so many concepts and ideas and things we have coming at us right now through the film company, and so many projects that I want to do. The sad thing about film is that all the ideas going through my head now, the scripts I have developed, you know, the scripts coming to us in these roles and characters, it is such a long process. It takes so many people, hundreds if not thousands of people to come together to make something like that happen. So all the stuff in my head right now, or even the material that we have pretty much done and ready to go, won't be coming out for another 2, 3, 4, 5+ years, because it's just such a process. But I'm gonna keep you guys updated throughout it all, take you along for the journey. And if you can learn anything and pull inspiration from what I'm doing, that's really what I want to give back to you guys, is that, you know, anything is truly possible and you just have to go for it. Don't wait for somebody else's approval, and just go out there. If you have conviction in yourself, belief in yourself, and you know what you're capable of, that's all you need, is a vision and a dream, and you 100% know that's what you're meant to do and what you're capable of. Go do it. There's nothing stopping you. Don't let anything stop you. It's supposed to be hard. You know, God puts us through trials to learn and develop and grow from them. That is what makes the, you know, like end of all of this worth it. The end of each little project, each little win is worth it because of those times when you thought it was gonna fall apart and not happen. And I can't tell you how many times that I've been in that exact position throughout my life, in my professional ski career, in fitness, and now especially in movies and cinema more than ever. I have been tested time and time again, and I really got to a point in my life where I was like, you know, it always works out, and you always get pushed to the last fucking straw, like the last point of like, okay, it's not gonna happen, like I was delusional. And then sure enough, right then and there, it happens and works out. And that's what God does. He pushes you to the limit, and you just don't give up. If you don't give up, you cannot fail. I really took a step back and I was like, I'm gonna put this in God's hands, let Him take control. I'm gonna do the best I can. I'm gonna reach my highest potential. And my biggest goal in everything is, you know, doing it to give back to people, inspire people to go do things, chase their dreams, to be leaders, to be risk takers, and to reach their highest potential. So just know that everything's gonna be okay. It's normal to get tested and pushed to those shitty moments. Like, that's what develops your character and makes you who you are. and that's what you're meant to go through in life. How did you become so acquainted to lifting? Really started out with my ski career, going through all these different injuries. I was super skinny, like 140 pounds at 6'1" to 6'3", however tall I was back then. Maybe even lighter. I think I was like 127 at one point. Went through 8 to 10 dislocated shoulders, tore my rotator cuff on my right shoulder, tore my meniscus and MCL on my knee, had surgeries on that, fractured my femur, broken both arms twice, concussions, broken thumbs, like fractured ankles, literally everything you can think of. Really started getting into fitness to get stronger for skiing, and then just slowly started falling in love with it. I remember watching those OG YouTube videos of James English, Anthony Mantello, David Lade, Dylan McKenna, just like the OG Gymshark squad was what inspired me so much, and my interest just started shifting so far into that, which was pretty crazy because my whole life was just being a professional skier. That's all I saw myself doing forever and ever. And it just goes to show like how much your goals and interests can shift when you're truly inspired by something. And I really credit those people who inspired me to do these things. I mean, that's what I really did everything in my life based off of, is being inspired as a young kid to go out and do these things. Why I became a professional skier, why I got into fitness, and now, you know, looking up to these directors in the film industry like Christopher Nolan, Tarantino, Fincher, and actors like Brad Pitt, Christian Bale, Ian Somerhalder. You know, it's like those people put a fire in me that I'm like, you know, that's what I'm so drawn to and want to do. And if I can just do that for other people, that's really my ultimate goal, because I know how much those people affected my life. It's like really why I do what I do, you know, is from being inspired by those people and seeing something that just lit this fire inside of me. And if I can convey that through my videos, through my films, through my content, to help any of you guys be like, wow, you know what, like it really is possible. And I feel like especially in Hollywood, where you kind of meet these super high level people, what a lot of young kids don't really understand is that all these people, or a lot of these people, really came from nothing, from small towns, and are still just like, how the hell did I make it here? You know, it's not that they're special. They are special in a way because they had the dream and belief and the vision to go do something way bigger, and the work ethic that, you know, the typical person doesn't have. Look who made it.
Oh, yeah.
And the camera is on 1%.
Here's my question. Best financial advice.
My financial advisor just
right
took a
here.
seat next to
I'd
me.
take all of his money and do shit with it, and he has no say. But basically, like, as you guys know, we're going through a massive change in the world, obviously, with AI and everything that's starting to come to fruition. And we're really kind of in this 2030 agenda, new world order. And as